Hello, this is Kevin Alexander, sales engineer. The intention of this video is to describe how Upchain can be used to import electrical or eCAD data. Basically, Upchain needs three things to build out the bill of materials for something like a printed circuit board. Specifically, it needs a PDF of the schematic, a BOM in Excel format, and a zip file which contains the actual project files, although the zip file is actually an optional step. So these three things are what Upchain will ask the user for when importing electrical information. Now, we do have a plugin for Altium that makes the creation of these three files easier from an Altium perspective. Okay. However, the basic process is the same for any electrical CAD. When we import the PDF of the schematic or the Excel BOM or the zip file, Upchain doesn't care which eCAD tool those files come from. They could come from Altium, from OrCAD, from Intergraphics, from PADS, from Cadence. It doesn't matter. Upchain simply needs these three files to import electrical information. But again, for Altium, we do have a plugin that makes the creation of this information a bit easier. So we'll use Altium for our demo today. So here in Altium, at the top, notice the Upchain button. Looks like a little happy face. When I click that, Upchain says, okay, well, excuse me, Altium says, where do you want to export the information and which project do you want to export? I'm going to select OK. We'll give it a moment here. Our export has completed. And let's take a look at the information that just got exported. So here's the folder that just got created. If we go inside of this folder, here are the three files I just mentioned. So we've got a PDF of the schematic. Let's go ahead and open that quickly. We've got an Excel BOM. We'll open that in a moment. And then we've got a zip file, which actually has all of the project files inside of it. But Upchain doesn't really care what's inside of the zip file. Upchain is simply managing the zip file as an entity when you import it, which we'll show that here in a moment. Really, the key file to understand, at least from a bill of materials perspective, is the Excel file. Let's go ahead and open that up. Now, the key thing to understand here is that when importing an electrical package into Upchain, Upchain will use this Excel bill of materials to build out its electrical bill of materials. However, right here, there's something key that you need to understand. So the manufacturer and the part number must be filled out. These absolutely have to be filled out for every single object in the bill of materials, or Upchain will give you an error when you attempt to export import the information. So let's go take a look at that. So here in Upchain, first thing I'm going to do is create a new electrical object. Okay, so we're going to add a new item. It's going to be of the type electrical package. This is critical right here because this is the only object type that will then give you the ability to import an electrical package into the item. So you do need to make sure you select this one. I'm going to call this demo test, and let's create that. So here on the left, here's the object that we just created. Notice the icon for the item looks like a electrical plug. That of course indicates that it's an electrical item. Now I can simply click on this item, come down to import electrical. Now, when you import the information, you do have to select a BOM template. Basically, all this is a template that maps the fields from the Excel file to the actual field names in Upchain. So once you create this and get that working once, you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's just a simple template, again, that just maps the fields from the eCAD tool or what's in the Excel bill of materials to what the field names are in Upchain. Now here, we simply go select the files that we want to import. So I'm going to go to the folder that we were just looking at. I'm going to select those three files, select open, proceed, and there we go. Now, these objects have been imported into Upchain before. So Upchain reused the part numbers for these objects because they were already in the system. If they had never been in the system, Upchain would have created new part numbers. Now, how does Upchain know whether the object is new or whether it's being reused? Well, again, it's based on the manufacturer and the part number. So when Upchain imports this information, if it has seen a given combination of manufacturer and part number before, it will reuse the part number that's been assigned, it will reuse the Upchain part number that's been assigned for the combination of these two together, okay? If there's a new combination that Upchain has never seen before, then Upchain will create a new Upchain part number. So that's how it works. Now, when we click on the object that we imported into the demo test object, if we come over here to the right and we look at documents, we can see those three files. So we'll see under the CBOM, we see the project zip file and the Excel file. And then under translations, we'll see the PDF of the schematic. And of course, all of these files can be opened in the viewer with the exception of the zip file. Okay. The zip file, again, doesn't really matter what's inside of it. It's simply there, and it's an optional step if you want the zip file or not. It's there so that you can manage that package of project files as an entity in the PLM system. But again, you don't have to do that, but the Excel file and the PDF are absolutely required when you import electrical information. Now, suppose there's a change to the circuit board, we've moved some things around, whatever the case might be, we'll need to re-import that information, in which case, if this was a release assembly, we would simply come in here, create a new version, then the import electrical command would become available. It's not here because we just imported this board, but if we created a new version, the import electrical command would then become available, and we'd be able to import the new board. So again, just to summarize, the basic process is very simple. You create the electrical object. Once you've done that, you create the electrical object in Upchain as an electrical package type, and then you simply import the PDF of the schematic, the Excel BOM, and the zip file, which has the project files, which again that's optional. The schematic and the Excel BOM are absolutely required. Today in the demo, we showed Altium Designer, but again, Upchain does not care what eCAD tool these three files come from. So we create the object and we simply import these three objects into Upchain, and Upchain will use the Excel bill of materials to build out the structure of the board. Thank you.